Hey, it's Matt Munson here on the set of Star Trek Renegades. I see Tim Russ right over there. Let's run in and try to get an interview with him. The other day we were shooting at a very frantic pace. Tim, can you tell me, do you find that energizing? Do you find it tiresome? How does that work out?
I don't mind shooting at a fast pace or shooting a lot of pages per day. It's just a matter of what kind of project it is. This project's very difficult to do that with because you have set effects, on-camera practical effects like fog, smoke. You've got complicated wardrobe issues. You've got complicated makeup issues. So it makes it very tough to maintain that pace with so many departments trying to keep everything together, repairing things, putting things back together, setting up things, compared to shooting a contemporary piece where it's just street makeup and street clothes and regular locations and maybe perhaps daylight. You can really run through that stuff very easily and very quickly. You can cover a lot of pages with that kind of thing. Because this is science fiction, because there's special effects involved, there's optical shots, there are stunts in this thing, there are practical effects, there's makeup, and there's wardrobe. There's every area you can imagine that is very hard to push and move a lot of pages per day, and at the same time, because it's a low budget project, you have to do that. You're stuck with that. So,
And how would you feel that the intensity of this shoot compares to Star Trek of Gods and Men, which you also directed?
Gods and Men, we had some of the similar issues, but not quite as many. We didn't have to worry so much about some of the effects issues. We didn't shoot a lot of plates. The plates were all shot separately from what we actually shot on camera. They were done later on in the post, separate. Whereas most of the stuff we did with that, we had the sets already done, we had the costumes done, and we didn't have smoke effects. The makeup wasn't nearly as intense. The conditions we worked in were really horrid because it was very hot. But outside of that, we got it done. It was not as hard as this is. This is a much harder piece to shoot. And the only thing I can do if we're shooting a piece like this and I'm trying to move things along is to get as many bits and pieces as I can get and then cut it together later on. So, for example, if in one shot something didn't work, I can cut to something else and be able to use that instead. And that's what saves me, where I don't have to focus on every single little detail that might be out of place. I can cut around it, and it just makes it easier to get through it.
And lastly, some of the challenges of not only directing but also acting in this production?
Well, I've always told the writers to minimize my role on the screen because for me, other directors can do it. I don't really like working in front of the camera and behind it at the same time because it's kind of distracting. The acting is an afterthought. Like I have to, oh my goodness, I have to look at my lines. I got to figure out what I'm supposed to say and all that because I've been so consumed with trying to get the shots and get the day made and everything. So the acting is I have to go to makeup. I have to take the time out to go get my makeup on and wardrobe and everything, come back, and then shoot those scenes while I'm on camera and have somebody else call the shots and call the cuts and everything. And at the same time I'm doing that, I'm thinking about my role as a director while I'm actually on screen. So it's like wearing two hats exactly the same time. One thing to wear them separately, but when you're on set, you're wearing them at the same time. So it's very complex.
Great. Thanks so much, Tim. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.